Welcome back to another episode of the Nick Cage Fight Podcast, where we watch Nick Cage movies and occasionally rank them and yell at each other. I am one of your hosts, Josh, joined as always by my fellow combatants, Rich and Ryan. Are we ready to get back into this? Or have we recovered? Have we iced our bruises? Are we ready to just dive back in? Fists of flailing?
Oh,
Let's jump
ready.
right into it. Yep.
Because my number 5 is I'm gonna get haymakered for my number 5. Adaptation.
I don't like it. I don't like that that's that high on your list.
Bad Lieutenant, Protocol New Orleans.
I don't like that's that low on your list.
I got Kill Chain at 5.
Fair. Kill Chain did not
fine.
make my top 5, but I understand that it is in your top 5. The Herzog, man.
No, I could definitely flip-flop 5 and 6, but I think I like Kill Chain a little bit more.
Entirely fair.
Sorry, my mouth is full of pretzels, and I'm trying not to have everybody listen to me chew.
Are those pretzels making you thirsty?
That's why I have the Diet Coke, because they are making me thirsty, in fact. Seinfeld reference. Man.
The Herzog was strong enough to get into my top 5, and also the general insanity level of this film I think was top notch. So it took the 5 spot for me.
See, I have it ranked just a bit higher, but we'll get to that. But yeah, I mean, I feel the need to now here's what I was saying though, is I think that you guys have worn me down enough that I am seriously thinking about swapping Adaptation and Vampire's Kiss to put Vampire's Kiss in my top 5 and Adaptation at number 6.
Yes, absolutely. Vampire's Kiss is a top 5 film. It's a little higher than that for me, but I think it should at least be in your top 5.
All right, then you know what? Fuck it. We're gonna put everything I just said. Vampire's Kiss is now top 5, and Adaptation is now number 6. And actually, it being above Snake Eyes to me now, I don't know if that's acceptable, but I'm going to leave it as is for the time being.
Where did you have Snake Eyes?
7.
Really?
Wow, that seems low. I got Snake Eyes a little higher.
Yeah, me too.
I have it 7, a 3 3/4 star. Obviously, it is a movie defined by its beginning, and my only issue with Snake Eyes is that the first 15 minutes is phenomenal. I was gonna say really good, but it's better than really good. It's phenomenal. It's just the next hour and 15 is just recapping the first 15 minutes of the movie. That's the only part that kind of keeps it outside of the top 5. But the beginning is
I kind of disagree
strong
with that. I rewatched it last night, and it does do a little bit of recapping, but only for like a half hour or so. And it's from the point of view of different characters. So you're seeing different scenes that weren't actually covered in the original 15-minute single shot. After that, it kind of goes off on its own and continues the story with the investigation. When, I mean, the very beginning of the movie, you know, Lieutenant Dan Dunn did it, but
no, I agree. I thought it was, as far as a mystery thriller, entertaining fucking film. No, overall, I honestly, I think it rates a little bit higher.
Plus, we got to rep our hometown.
Very
It's an Atlantic City movie. It's got to be pretty high up on there for us.
Yeah, it's got the home field advantage for sure.
Yeah, no, it's very good. I like the way it's written. I like the way that we are given who the bad guy is before Nick Cage is, so we get to watch him struggle with it.
Something fucked up, I realized when I was watching it. I don't know if either of you have played any of the Yakuza games.
Oh yeah.
So it's basically the plot of Yakuza 1 with the building of the Millennium Tower is more or less the same as overall conspiracy that's going on in Snake Eyes.
Also, no bonus points, Rich, for being a movie that Marvel Cinematic Universe stole post-credit scenes from.
You're not wrong about that. I mean,
plus it's got Carla Gugino. I love Carla Gugino. She's great. She's the Spy Kids mom.
It has a very strong cast. Like it has it has Luis Guzman. Like that's it for me, having Luis Guzman.
Yeah, he's pretty good in it. Yeah, he puts up a good showing. Cage is great in it. Gary Sinise is kind of boring in it, but I mean,
I find Gary Sinise boring in general.
Gary Sinise has the heel turn. It makes it one of his more interesting roles.
It's still not that interesting.
Fair. But are we really going to discount the John Hurd performance just as the angry yelling guy?
Yeah, he was pretty good. I was watching another movie with him in it recently. I got to remember what that was.
Was it
Yeah,
a
that was
Sopranos
very good.
episode or two?
No, you know what? It was fucking Home Alone. I was watching Home Alone
shit,
for the
that's
holidays because he's Kevin's dad.
He is. That's
He
a
was the-
classic.
He was the cop in Sopranos. I never realized that.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I know what I was actually thinking of. I watched Cat People for Halloween. That movie's great. He's the guy that shacks up with the Skinwalker in that movie.
Cat People?
Cat People, yeah.
Oh,
Paul
1982.
Schrader, insane fucking horror film about people that turn into panthers when they fuck. It's got a David Bowie song as the opening theme, putting out fire with gasoline. It's great.
Huh.
It has Malcolm McDowell in it. That's interesting. I might have to go and watch this weird cat fucking movie.
Oh, Malcolm McDowell's so fucking weird in that movie. It's so good.
Interesting.
Wow, I didn't think our top 5 was going to vary as much as it does, but apparently it does. Because now my number 4 is Kill Chain.
My number 4 is Snake Eyes.
I've also got Snake Eyes at 4. I think Snake Eyes is a top 5 film.
I felt the same about Kill Chain. I thought Kill Chain told a better story than Snake Eyes. I feel like everything fits together while a bit sloppy. Again, go back and listen to our episode because it takes us a minute.
We
to
talked
be like,
ourselves around on that one.
We did,
because
yeah.
I rewatched it and it still holds up. Like everything that I explained. Yeah, like you don't have to turn your brain off. You have to turn your brain on for that movie.
That's true. You were the staunchest defender of the plot, just plugging up those plot holes with good solid reasoning.
Yeah, and I tell everybody I meet that like the minute they find out that I host a Nick Cage podcast, the second question is obviously, what's your favorite Nick Cage movie? And while this is it's not the best, but my favorite is Kill Chain. And I always tell everybody, you haven't seen Kill Chain, you need to.
It's an easy win for a Nick Cage film recommendation. I give you that.
Yeah, that one and Between Worlds. I think out of what we've watched for the podcast, definitely 2 of the best for an initiate of the Cage religion.
Yeah, to be fair though, I wouldn't send a neophyte to watch Between Worlds before I'd send him to watch Kill Chain.
No,
I mean, that's fair.
That's
I guess
a movie where
mileage
if they
will vary depending on if they like David Lynch or not, I guess.
Yeah.
Right. And if they come to me saying like, oh man, I love Nick Cage, and like, oh, I've seen The Rock, I've seen Con Air, I've seen Snake Eyes, I've seen Raising Arizona, I'd be like, you should watch Kill Chain. I mean, not Kill Chain, like you should watch Between Worlds because you obviously have an appreciation of what Nick Cage is doing.
Of the finer things.
Yes. Yeah, you have to have at least dipped your toe in the pool before I'd send you over to Between Worlds. But like, if you're ready to dunk your head, that's the movie to do it to.
So I think we may all have the same number 3. And I'm curious. I have number 3 as Rumblefish.
I got 3 at Rumblefish too. Yeah.
I have 3 as Vampire's Kiss.
So you have 2 with Rumblefish. Okay.
Yep, I do.
So Ryan, you have 2 as Vampire's Kiss.
Correct. Yes. I think it is almost barely as good as Moonstruck, which is our number 1 across the board, I'm assuming.
I don't think anybody's surprised by that.
So have either of you deduced my number 2?
I haven't been paying that close attention.
Damn it.
Yeah, my whiteboard is barren.
That's fine. I
haven't filled up my
fine.
Clue notebook for this one.
Oh, I have been. Don't worry. Also, your answers are in front of me. Mine are a mystery.
You wanted to be mysterious this time, so own it.
Yeah, well, that's what I was saying. Like, did you figure out the clues? I wonder if any listeners figured out the clues.
Pause here if you'd like to go back and peg Rich's number 2 selection here.
Here's a hint: the butler did it.
But no, Rumblefish again probably is the most artsy film.
I watched or read an interview with Coppola where he said that he wanted to make an art film for teenagers, and that's what Rumblefish was.
That seems about correct, actually.
I feel like he hit the fucking mark.
Yeah, no, he really knocked it out of the park for that.
Yeah,
Mickey Rourke is phenomenal.
He said he was going to do.
Who is going to be our third rewatch podcast after this one, and then Willem Dafoe. What was he? Willem Dafoe,
Defender Dafoe.
Defender Dafoe. And then we did have one for Rourke as well. I just forget what it was.
We have multiple.
Rourke you.
we will
yeah.
Rourke you.
We will Rourke you. Rourkeabye baby. And
The
also,
hand that works the cradle.
also the other day I was driving and I thought between a Rourke and a Hard Place.
Ooh, that's a good one.
That's very solid. We're gonna be doing this forever, guys.
I'm looking forward to the Willem Dafoe one so that I can. We're gonna be real film perverts and watch Antichrist, everybody.
Oh, I can't wait. I also can't wait to watch. Why am I blanking on this film's name? It's a Cage film with David Lynch.
Oh, yeah, Wild at Heart. Wild at Heart's great.
Yeah, because Defoe's in that as well. So it's triple the unhinged.
Well, I mean,
Also-
we got Defoe in our future with Dog Eat Dog.
Oh yeah, the Paul Schrader joint.
We also have him in our
I've heard
past.
that's pretty good.
We also have him in our past too with oh my god, why am I blanking on so many names of movies? The vampire one.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
Shadow of the Vampire.
Right,
Yes.
our Patreon only.
With the Malkovich.
Yes, with the
Correct.
Malkovich going crazy. Just being high on heroin the whole time.
Let's be fair, it might be laudanum. It was probably
Ether?
laudanum.
Yeah, I mean it very well could be.
Ether was popular too, but laudanum
Yeah.
probably wins out.
Because
Yeah.
he's injecting it, and I think laudanum's an injectable.
Yeah, it's true. Ether is just where you soak the cotton in it and you hold it up to your face.
So my number 3 is your guys' number 2, which is Rumblefish, which is objectively a great movie. Should have done way better than it did. Should have launched the Hintonverse, I believe is what we called it, between Rumblefish and The Outsiders. And I think that was then and This Is Now is also a movie. My number 2, though, is Bad Lieutenant.
Oh,
I can't argue with that.
I
Yeah.
thought this movie was phenomenal. I thought that watching the original really helped me appreciate Port of Call like even more.
The original is a tremendous film, and I can't wait for the Patreon only episode where we talk about that one.
Oh my God, same. This is one I had sitting at number 3, and then I kind of really thought about it, and I thought that it deserved the number 2 spot over Rumblefish. I have no complaints about the movie. It is great. There's a great unhinged scene. It's a great unhinged film. It's a great performance. Like, this is 5 stars across the board. Now, when I say 5 stars, I really gave it 4 1/4 star, but everything about the film is great. It actually has pretty decent Cage hair too.
it's a good story in general. I think it has complex characters from top to bottom. Yeah, I'm not that mad about that selection. I admire your gumption sticking it there.
Yeah, and again, just the way that Cage, like as he is doing more and more drugs, gets more hunched over and like in pain, and his performance in that is phenomenal.
Plus, it's got lizards. I like lizards.
It does have lizards.
No,
sorry.
you're right. In fact, I'm questioning some of my other placements for that film in general. Yeah. Fucking Bad Lieutenant, Port of Call, New Orleans. Watch it. That was a solid flick, top to bottom.
Yeah. So I guess now we got to talk about Moonstruck.
Oh God, I just rewatched Moonstruck. It's so good.
I've been
Better
dying
than fucking
to-
Joe versus the volcano, which I didn't think was possible.
Been dying to talk about Moonstruck. It's honestly, it's as close to a perfect film as we've watched so far. And if you haven't seen it and you're like, I don't think that that's true, watch it legitimately.
It has
Give it a
no
watch.
wasted movement. There isn't a single scene in that movie that could have been cut, and it wouldn't have been a lesser film.
I agree. Also, not to toot my own horn, but I do think my take that Moonstruck is the movie that Martin Scorsese has been trying to make his entire career. I think that is accurate. It is the most Italian film I've ever seen.
I
This
disagree
movie-
with that because that's not really what Scorsese's going for most of the time. Scorsese really likes to make movies about gray morality where he sees himself in one of the characters. I think the Italian stuff just sort of bleeds through because that's his background, but I don't know if that's what he's actually trying to make.
I'm
as a
sorry, you're
filmmaker.
talking about gray morality, like cheating on your betrothed with their sibling and following true love's North Star and upending things and everything.
I was
working out?
thinking more outside of his standard mob stuff, like Last Temptation of Christ, which is really a very humanist retelling of Jesus's story, or like Silence, which is a movie about Catholicism in Japan, which is something that's deeply underseen. That movie fucking rules.
I'll have to watch it. But regardless, the point still stands. I think Moonstruck is the most Italian film ever made.
It's so Italian that when you rented it at Blockbuster in the 90s, it came with a loaf of Italian bread and olive oil.
And sugar cubes for your champagne.
And sugar cubes for your champagne, as well as like a 90-year-old like Italian nonna. Like,
and the big knife.
The
it comes with the big knife.
It does come with the big knife.
Could you imagine?
It's so you can stab your own heart.
Could you imagine?
Comes with a guma.
Could you imagine how well the marketing campaign would have been if they bundled the DVD with the big knife?
Dude, it's a Criterion DVD too. They would have done that shit.
Yeah, no, but I honestly, I think most of our coverage of Moonstruck in the episodes where we went over it was just effusive praise piled on top of each other until it formed a pyramid. It's a unbelievably solid film from top to bottom, even if you think you're not interested in the subject matter.
John Patrick Shanley can write the shit out of a movie. He's done it a couple of times. Joe versus the Volcano was the first one that jumps to mind. Another almost perfect film. Not as good as Moonstruck, but damn fine.
Yeah, I was shocked because I think before we watched it for the episode, I had seen it and not paid attention to it on like a family movie night many years prior. And upon rewatch, I was like, God damn, this film is unbelievable. Just
no notes.
Yeah, agreed. I was hooked from the opening speech from Nick Cage with the hand. It was unbelievable.
Although that is the most unhinged he gets for the rest of the movie. I think
he
other
comes out
characters
swinging. Yeah.
He does come out swinging, and then he kind of calms down a little bit. But that opening speech about Johnny still having his hand, Johnny still having his bride, phenomenal.
Yeah, but also, by the way, accolades have been showered upon Between Worlds, and one of the reasons why is it has some of the most unhinged and disturbing sex scenes in a film, including Zandali on this list. Maybe we need to add another column, another category for eroticism rating.
Eros and Thanatos, love and death, baby.
I'm just saying, Zandali might have been an erotic film. Between Worlds, erotic film. Moonstruck had the most obscene dirty talk I have ever seen in a film or real life.
In a PG film.
Yeah.
It's not explicit either. It's just unsettling, which is phenomenal. Love it.
Yeah. It's like just... I know we covered it in the episode about it, but I will never be able to get these lines out of my head. But like Cher's dirty talk was like, use me up so there's nothing left for my future husband, just skin over bones. I'm like, God damn, that's the most aggressive. That is the most aggressive dirty talk I've ever heard. It's unsettling. And in a PG film, again, like I said,
and coming from Cher, no less. Cher.
She won an Oscar.
All right,
no notes. Movie's perfect. I think that's all we have to say about Moonstruck.
Yeah, no, I'm. Yeah, we could do a whole nother episode about Moonstruck. Hard to say enough about it, but definitely tip top of the list. And I don't. It's Tyson. I don't see. Just with my general knowledge now, who knows? When we go through, we know that we have some heavy hitters still waiting in the wings. We have the Holy Trinity. We still have some of the classics. We have Raising Arizona. I don't know what is going to potentially challenge Moonstruck at this point.
My called shot is Bringing Out the Dead. I've mentioned it before. I love that movie. It is probably my favorite Scorsese movie and my favorite Nick Cage movie. I think it's going to rock your socks off when you watch it.
I haven't seen it, so I'm waiting. I'm explicitly keeping myself from watching it because I want the full effect of it, and I want my first knee-jerk reaction response to it to properly place it. Obviously, I'm going to watch it several times to see if it can actually dethrone Moonstruck, but again, that's
takes a couple watches. It's a layered film. You're going to notice more each time you watch it.
I like the sound of that. I do.
Same. All right, you want to speed run Hair?
Yeah, let's speed run some Hair.
Yeah, hold on. Let me switch our sorting. Let's sort on Hair. Oh,
All right.
Oh,
an
yeah, we do have a
immediate
little bit of
contradiction.
a conflict here, actually. I'm looking at the spreadsheet.
Oh no, I wanted to speed run it.
It's mostly the same on our end, but I have one that I think should be higher.
All right, so I'm going to go top to bottom on this one. I know we just want bottom to top, but we're going to go top to bottom.
Okay.
Best hair, Zandali.
Yep.
Correct. Yes.
Second best, Sorcerer's Apprentice.
I got Between Worlds, but I could easily flip that for Sorcerer's Apprentice. They're both great hair.
Okay, I have Between Worlds 4 because I have the sick ass Pompadour 3 in Rumblefish.
Now, I've Between Worlds is a solid 3 from me.
So my 4 is Vampire's Kiss.
I have that at 5.
Okay. All right. Josh does not.
Yeah, my 4 is next. It's the only thing I'll toss to next.
I have that at 6. So I mean, we're all kind of in the area at least.
Okay.
7, Valley Girl.
7, Rumblefish for me. I liked that Pompadour.
Okay, I just have that way higher. I have that at 3.
I'm sorry. What number are we on?
I
lost
we're on
myself for a
7.
second there.
7, Valley Girl.
7 Rumblefish. I put the Pompadour. at
Okay,
7.
I must have overrated the Pompadour. That's okay. 8, I have Kiss of Death.
Gone in 60 seconds. I thought his hair was good in that.
I have Gone in 60 Seconds at 8 as
Oh wow, I have that way low. Holy crap.
well.
9, Moonstruck.
Moonstruck.
Same. Moonstruck. Yep.
Damn. All right, 10, Honeymoon in Vegas.
Snake Eyes.
Yeah, Snake Eyes for me.
Oh, okay. 11, Kill Chain.
11, Honeymoon in Vegas. Kill Chain's sitting in my 5 spot for the hair because I count facial hair.
Very true.
That
You
is
know
very
what?
fair.
Yeah.
I mean, that's honestly why Zandalay is so high.
Yup.
Very true.
Yes. Zandalay hits the number 1 spot because of the combination between the head and facial hair. Kill Chain, Nick Cage had the short hair, but he had a solid short beard, which I love.
12, I have Knowing.
Vampire's Kiss.
Oh, that is low, Josh.
What can I say? I Vampire's Kiss had decent hair, but I thought it was a little bit middling.
Okay. All right. You know, I'm not going to get too caught up on the hair. I'm not getting too caught up. 13, I have Snake Eyes.
Bad Lieutenant.
Bad Lieutenant as well.
I have that at 15. Or I'm sorry, 14. I have it at 14. So I'm right there.
Josh, I think you and me have it the exact same from this point out.
Might.
So what's your 14?
Valley Girl.
Okay, I had that way higher.
Yeah, we are the same on this from this way out. I just double checked.
All right. 15, 8mm.
Yep.
Yep. I
All
think that's
of
the
us.
first one that we all hit other than Zandalay.
No, we all hit Moonstruck too, believe it or not. Well, very random.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that was out of nowhere, but that was the other
All right,
unanimous.
16, I know I'm off of Gone in 60 Seconds.
Ghost Rider Spirit of Vengeance.
I
Same.
have that next at 17.
Knowing.
Knowing as well.
Ooh, see, I have that very high then. 18, I have Adaptation.
Oh, another unanimous.
Oh yeah, unanimous. Oh shit.
19, USS Indianapolis.
G-Force.
G-Force, yeah. I did that one as a joke. I didn't expect that one to pan out.
20, Ghost Rider.
USS Indianapolis.
Yeah, that's Indy.
21, I have G-Force.
Ghost Rider.
Original Ghost Rider.
All right, then we all have 22 as Christmas Carol.
Correct.
All right, so there was a little bit less contention on that list than I thought.
What's next on the speed run? How much time do we have left in this podcast? Oh, let's take a look.
Like a half hour.
Yeah, we got a half hour.
Oh, we got a half hour? Then you know what time it is,
After
gentlemen.
you get a watch.
I mean, probably, but also it's time for our loyal listeners to listen to some ads. I hope those ads were informing and did their job to advertise the thing that it was advertising. Except for if it's ice, don't join ice. Don't go to Lancaster. Don't buy anything from Halliburton.
And if it was for Scruff McGruff, Chicago, Illinois 60652, he's still a cop. That makes him a bastard.
Yeah, ACAB includes Scruff. Just throwing it out there.
It includes Scruff. It also includes Brooklyn Nine-Nine. Stop telling me to watch it.
Yeah, no.
I mean, I will.
agree.
I have watched it. It's a fucking show. I laughed at it. They're still cops.
It's got Stephanie Beatrice. I'm contractually obligated to watch it.
I'm not gonna lie. If you want to make it hard for me, say ACAB includes Law and Order SVU, and I'm gonna be like, God damn it! Then what am I supposed to watch when I'm at home sick at 2 p.m.
Anime
on USA?
You
Always
have
anime.
There's literally 300 channels, 100 streaming services. You can watch whatever the hell you want. The internet is right in front of you.
I will not accept slander of Chris Maloney, but I do get it.
All right. So I think let's go unhinged film.
Oh, unhinged overall. Throwing us
Yeah,
a
let's
curveball.
go unhinged overall.
Oh, we
think-
have some differences. All right, so
And I think
again,
we should go top to bottom again.
for the listener, Ryan and I can see our selections, and Rich has insisted on being a complete mystery. And I can see that Ryan and I have some disagreements on the overall unhinged films. In fact, what? Oh, hold on. Wait.
I
I'm
think
looking
you're
at the wrong thing.
unhinged scenes because I didn't have the time to fill out
Okay,
all
never
of these,
mind.
but I've got
Correct.
comments for anything that pops up.
Fair. Okay. Never mind. I overreacted. I was looking at the wrong category from Ryan. So we are going into this cold for everybody but me. Everybody can see my selections. So, Rich, start us off.
Vampire's Kiss.
Between Worlds.
I agree. Between Worlds.
I have that number 2.
I have Vampire's Kiss number 2.
I would agree with that. Vampire.
Okay,
Those two
I am
are
fine
the
with-
top of the barrel for nut job movies.
Yeah, I'm totally fine with swapping. Like whichever one you want is totally fine to me.
Look, I just think Memories by Nicolas Cage edges Vampire's Kiss out just a little bit.
I mean, listen, that's again, it's fine. I could have gone either way. I just ended up going with Vampire's Kiss.
It's close. I won't quibble.
Absolutely, it's close. Number 3, we may have all the same here at Bad Lieutenant.
Agreed.
That's
Lucky
my
Crack Pipe, absolutely. What's the scene where he gets the drugs off of those fucking people coming out of the club? That movie's unhinged front to
Shoots
back.
the gun in the air. No, you stay and watch.
And when he's like hallucinating the lizards, it's a good movie.
Yeah.
Watch it.
Yeah.
If either of you put it at number 1, I still don't think I would have been bothered.
I wouldn't have fought. Yeah, I wouldn't have fought.
Number 4 for me, I don't know if you guys are going to agree. Is Zandali?
Oh shit! Yep. Yeah,
absolutely.
I do agree. Actually,
okay, all right. Number 5 is a movie that actually held on to the top spot for a little bit of time. Is Honeymoon in Vegas?
8mm.
Oh, I have that way down. Okay,
I would actually put Honeymoon in Vegas at my 5
over 8mm.
As
what is unhinged about 8mm outside of the "Did you make them come"?
Yeah, I don't think 8mm is that unhinged.
Yeah,
of a
Josh,
film.
It's just
neo
defend yourself.
Noir. I mean, like I've seen
Gladly.
more unhinged neo noirs. Watch Blood Simple. That's a much more unhinged neo noir.
No, I'm happy to jump in here because overall unhinged. So you have Nick Cage's "Did you make him come? Did you hold his cock?" Fantastic individual lines from Nick Cage that are absolutely bonkers, absurd. You also have the individual scenes of him and Joaquin Phoenix perusing underground weird snuff sex film places, but you also have James Gandolfini literally tonguing the barrel of a handgun and taunting Cage to shoot him. I think the scales tip towards 8mm unhinged quality overall. I know the third act ruins it for you,
but
that
come
is
on.
James
Skydiving
Gandolfini.
Elvises.
James Gandolfini doing that is unhinged, but the second scene you had mentioned with them, trying to peruse the snuff films, that's just them doing their job. I did not find that to be particularly unhinged.
I can think of a couple of like Ed Brubaker comics that have similar scenes to that I didn't find unhinged. But like Skydiving Elvises.
That's a spectacle. I wouldn't necessarily call Skydiving Elvises unhinged. In fact, Elvis's Doing Anything are sort of general down the middle of the lane entertainment in a lot of places still. I don't consider that unhinged. Elvis's Doing Almost Anything isn't unhinged. There's still an audience that I wouldn't necessarily categorize on the fringes of basically anything. Whereas almost everything displayed in the movie 8mm is definitely fringe class.
I mean, yeah, 8mm is fringe, but like I kind of disagree about Skydiving Elvis is not being unhinged when they're making Nick Cage also skydive with them.
Is 3,000 Miles to Graceland an unhinged film?
Absolutely, yes. When was the last time you watched that? Have you seen that film recently? That
Shot myself
fucking
in
nuts.
the foot with that one. Fine. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think I generally I think the subject matter in 8mm lends itself to an unhinged quality, whereas Honeymoon in Vegas is basically a normie rom-com, and I don't see the unhinged factor.
I mean, it's a PG rated indecent proposal, but yeah,
Yeah.
I see where you're coming from.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't feel bad about that. I also don't feel bad about you guys disagreeing. So I feel like that's a solid middle ground. We can all agree to disagree.
Number 6, I have Kiss of Death, which I found a decently unhinged movie.
Spirit of Vengeance.
I kind of agree with Kiss of Death. Fucking bench pressing strippers. Real good.
I agree. I have it a little lower on my list. Not much lower, but a little lower.
Same with me for Spirit of Vengeance. I only have it 2 spots down. I'll give 7 and 8 at the same time because it's Ghost Rider, then Ghost Rider Spirit of Vengeance. They're both right there.
Ooh, my 7 and 8 are Moonstruck and the first Ghost Rider.
Moonstruck, I think, should be lower. Moonstruck's not that unhinged outside of Nick Cage, that opening scene with the I lost my hand, I lost my bride. Johnny has his hand, Johnny has his bride.
Well, no, I mean, there's still the scene there, the Ravage Me scene, the scene with the Italian grandmother where her fiance is crying in the phone that his mother is dying, and she's just in the back, like in the background, just being like, "What are you talking about? I'm dying. I'm fine." And then he comes back and he's just like, "It was a miracle," and the
miracles don't happen no more. In Italy, they do.
Right. And the closing scene where people come in one by one, so everybody has to watch as Cher tells her fiance, like, "Oh, by the way, I'm breaking up with you and marrying your brother."
She doesn't, though. He says that he can't marry her because his mother's gonna die, and then she's like actually goes off on him like he's the one who's making this a problem.
What you just described is unhinged.
Okay, yeah, okay. No, I may have. I come from an Italian family that did not play as unhinged to me. That was just a Sunday dinner ass conversation right there.
Yeah. Number 9, I have Snake Eyes.
I have Kiss of Death.
I could put Snake Eyes at 9. I could see that.
Did you both have Kiss of Death higher?
Yes, I had number 6.
Yeah, well, like I said, I didn't fill out the form completely. I'm kind of just going off the cuff, but I do think Kiss of Death's a little higher than Snake Eyes.
10, I have Moonstruck because it is unhinged. I just found the rest of these films to be just a bit more unhinged. But that's kind of the middle of the pack for me. That is kind of is it more or less unhinged than Moonstruck? Because that's like right at the middle.
Mm-hmm. I see that.
11 for me is Adaptation.
Same.
The Double the Cage just is, that doubles the unhinged, masturbating to the author's picture, and just the last 20 minutes is completely unhinged.
Also, and I feel like maybe we didn't give it enough credit at the time, but like the foible of his twin brother at the like house party doing like the little weird sexy dance with the push in the bush line, that's pretty fucking unhinged.
There's
Agreed,
that.
Yeah.
There's also the just munching on a sandwich.
Laying on the floor because his back hurts, so you gotta lay on like a flat surface thing.
Yeah.
It immediately comes to mind is David Hasselhoff housing that burger while blackout drunk, that video that was making its round on the internet a while ago.
Yeah, it's a classic.
Number 12, I have 8mm.
I have Honeymoon in Vegas for that.
Oh, I had that way hot. Wait a second, hang on. I think I'm looking at the wrong. No, I am unhinged film. It was actually just my number 12 in a few different things. I'm making sure I was looking at the right thing. Yeah, Honeymoon in Vegas, I have much higher. 8mm. The last 20 minutes, or probably the last 30 minutes, all decently unhinged. Killing Joaquin Phoenix on a St. Andrew's cross. There's a lot. The facial expressions. The first time that Nick Cage has to watch the snuff film. Yeah. There's a lot going on that's low key unhinged.
It is a very low key film compared to some of the other ones that we have higher on the list. So no argument here.
So now I think we're getting down to the least unhinged movies. At number 13, I have Sorcerer's Apprentice.
I have Kill Chain.
I had that a little bit less unhinged, but I can respect the opinion. Because I'm kind of re-looking at my list now, and I think I might have ranked Kill Chain a bit too low. But we can talk about that. No, we can talk about it now, actually. The reason why it was so low for me, because at the end of the day, everything made sense. There was not a whole lot of him kind of going off the rails. He kind of, raised his voice when he had to. There was no, kind of random words or sounds or volume shifts in his voice. Everything I feel like was done with purpose.
When he starts laughing, I think that's like the most unhinged part of his performance.
She's dead upstairs.
She's dead upstairs.
Yeah, I have it. I have it ranked slightly higher in unhinged individual scene than overall unhinged, because you're right. It plays out relatively straight, but there is some crazy shit in general that happens. The sexy hijacking of a van, that's kind of unhinged. The entire hitman having a conversation with his daughter about rice cookers.
I don't know. I don't think that's that unhinged. That's pretty standard hitman storytelling bullshit.
Yeah, I thought it was more like you kind of have to establish this guy quickly because we have to know about him and then get to the next story. So we have to establish a few things. We have to establish that
you got to humanize him before you kill him off.
So, all right.
Right.
So here's my counterpoint to that. I was thinking of Hitman in the traditional action movie version of it. Like, did we ever humanize Jason Bourne? No.
But he's a spy. He's government fucking taught and all that shit.
But also,
killers.
This movie is better than the Bourne movies.
Correct.
Yes,
correct. I agree 100%.
And that's 100%. Why, because a lot of these movies did not, this movie took the time to not just humanize it, to humanize literally everybody. Everybody has a backstory that is told to you concisely and is not modern video game storyline of you have to go through this story to continue the story. Fair. Everything is told within in a very natural way. Like with him, his daughter calls and he just answers the phone and they have a conversation that gives us a lot of backstory, and his handler calls, which again gives us a lot of backstory. And then the other sniper calls, which once again provides us even more backstory within an 11-minute span, probably.
Yeah. And it comes into play later. Yeah. Kill Chain, not gonna lie, good film, solid. Also, Ryan, just to divert us very slightly, I just realized Kill Chain hits a lot of the same notes as a more recent semi-blockbuster starfucker film that both of us enjoyed.
Oh yeah, it does kind of do a Bullet Train a little bit.
I just watched Bullet Train. Bullet Train was real good.
I still got to hunt down the because it's based on a series of Japanese hitman novels. They did do an adaptation of the first novel in that series in Japan called Grasshopper that I've been meaning to check out, because if it's half as entertaining as Bullet Train, I'm gonna have a good time.
So the only thing I'll say about Bullet Train before we go back into the Nick Cage stuff is Bullet Train was a movie that felt longer than it was, but in a good way, and I don't know how to describe that.
No, but I think the funniest thing, and I hadn't thought about it in this context till we got to this point in the conversation, but I think Kill Chain did Bullet Train before Bullet Train was a movie.
Right, because it's got all those moving pieces. Everyone's kind of like a chess piece that there is someone moving them around a board to make sure that what happens is going to happen according to their plan.
It was a little less stylized, a little bit more grounded.
Definitely did not have the Bullet Train budget.
Yeah, and also that clearly, but goddamn, if the similarities aren't right in your face, if you watch these movies back to back, it's obvious.
Right. And so I agree. And also I will add this. If you are more of a fight scene person, watch Bullet Train. If you are more of a dialogue person, watch Kill Chain, because Kill Chain tells more story with its dialogue. And I am more of a dialogue person than an action movie person. I actually, probably a bit of a hot take. I find action movies, if they're not done well, pretty boring, actually.
Modern action movies are CG, way too much CG, not enough actual choreography. watch some old like Hong Kong squib ass gun fu movies. You're gonna have a better time than you would watching most modern actual like
or just like 80s American ones. Like Rambo tells a very good story.
Everybody should watch Commando. Just watch Commando when you get home after listening to this podcast. Please, Commando fucking rules.
Hey, do you guys both want a chance to yell at me real quick? Because
Yes.
One of my guilty pleasures is mindless action movies, and I'm going to tell you the two series that I prize for exactly that kind of content. The Mission Impossibles.
The first one is really good, and one of the sequels, I can't remember which one, is also really good. I think it's the one with Philip Seymour Hoffman in it. I
like all of them, with my opinion being that the second one, the Woo one, being the odd man out as far as overall tone and cinematography. But my other favorite go-to is the Tom Cruise Reacher movies.
Oh, the Jack Reacher movies. For me, it's Fast and the Furious.
Fair. That's fair.
I'd just rather watch a samurai flick. Give me Lone Wolf and Cub all day. If Toshiro Mifune is in it, that's my kind of like comfort food action bullshit.
Your take is the objectively correct one, Ryan. I'm just saying I like dumb American action flicks from time to time.
I like swords.
Zone out.
Swords are cool.
All right,
swords are
cool. We're at 50 minutes, so I'm going to start speed running this shit.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, let's get this done.
All right, so after Sorcerer's Apprentice, at 14, Knowing, 15, Valley Girl, 16, Kill Chain for Unhinged Film. I know that a few of those have already been said.
I have Valley Girl, Gone in 60 Seconds, and Rumblefish in the 14, 15, 16 slot.
My next two are actually Gone in 60 Seconds is at 17, and then 18 is Rumblefish.
Yeah, Gone in 60
Close
Seconds
enough.
is not that unhinged. That should be about there.
19, I have G-Force. I have the normal Drek. G-Force, next, USS Indianapolis, Christmas Carol.
Yes, Christmas Carol should be bottom of the list for everyone. That
Fair
movie
enough.
is completely hinged.
Yep, I agree.
Let's go overall performance. We'll leave Unhinged for last.
All right.
Overall performance, number 1. I have Bad Lieutenant.
Moonstruck.
I'd put Vampire's Kiss at the top of the barrel for this one.
Ooh, we are all just all over the place. Okay, love it. The reason why I don't have Moonstruck is because he's only in 70% of the movie. Only reason. That's I can be wrong, and that's fine. That's my reasoning, is that you don't get introduced to Cage until like the 25-minute.
It's a Cher movie that Cage is in your opinion.
Correct.
That is the correct opinion. He is in very little of that film compared to Cher and the tertiary characters.
Fine, but still
it's still high up. It's number 3 for me. It's high up. Like, you're not wrong to rank it 1. Number 2 for me is Adaptation, and I will tell you why.
I hate to disagree with you. That's my number 2 as well.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I don't want to be controversial. I'll put that at 2.
It's just that there are scenes where he is acting with himself.
Yeah,
I think we've said it a lot. He's interrupting himself. He's playing Charlie Kaufman very well. He is playing, a version of Charlie Kaufman as his brother also very well. And the way that he kind of seamlessly goes back and forth from these two very different characters who are identical twins is very good. And I'm assuming just because Nick Cage has said before that he is a character actor, that he's playing two characters who look exactly alike. That can't be easy for a character actor to get into wardrobe thinking you're Charlie and then playing his brother who is a completely different person.
I can't argue. I've made my opinions known about the rest of the qualities of Adaptation, but I can't shit on Cage's performance. It is a number 2 for me.
Number 3 for me, Moonstruck.
Vampire's Kiss.
That's my number 4. Okay.
I'd put Bad Lieutenant at my 3.
So would your 4 then be Moonstruck?
Correct. Yes, that's where I'd put Moonstruck.
What's your 4, Josh?
Snake Eyes.
Where's your Bad Lieutenant at?
9.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Right.
I disagree with that. I mean, I think his slow degradation into drug addiction is very compelling and well played.
That's fair. I have Kill Chain in this order above Bad Lieutenant: Kill Chain, Between Worlds, Honeymoon in Vegas, 8mm, and then Snake Eyes, where we started this digression.
Yeah, and that's number 4, right?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. 4 for me was Vampire's Kiss. 5 for me, even though I have spent the last 2 hours shitting on this movie. It's 8 millimeter. It's too good of a performance in the first hour and 10 minutes to ignore.
Same. That's my 5 too.
His performance is absolutely tremendous. You don't even. Oh yeah, another issue I have with this is that he's essentially playing two different characters. The first half of the movie and the second half of the movie. But in that first half, he is absolutely tremendous. You are watching top tier Cage.
Yeah. No
disagreements here.
We're the same. We're the same number on that one.
6, I have Honeymoon in Vegas. I thought he played a cuck very well.
Yeah, agreed.
He did in fact have low T. He was a beta.
Jesus Christ. Number 7, I have Kiss of Death.
Between Worlds.
Between Worlds for me as well.
I have that 9. I have Kiss of Death, Snake Eyes, then Between Worlds. But I feel like, okay, I know that
I think that block's interchangeable for me.
This block of 4 of Honeymoon in Vegas, Kiss of Death, Snake Eyes, Between Worlds, put it in a boggle cube and just let it land where it may, and I would not be disappointed.
Boggle.
Yep. Fair.
Yeah. After that block, though, I have Gone in 60 Seconds.
Kill Chain is an 8 for me.
Wait, I'm at 10, by the way.
Oh, I'm sorry. Just to clarify, my 8 is Kill Chain, my 9 is Bad Lieutenant, 10 is Kiss of Death.
10 for me is Gone in 60 Seconds. 11 for me is Kill Chain. And for the same reason as Moonstruck, is that Nick Cage, while the scenes that he's in, he absolutely fucking destroys and is amazing, he's in 30% of the movie.
Yeah, my 11 spot goes to the first Ghost Rider.
Oh my God, I have that at 19.
How dare you? He did a great job. First of all, real quick.
All right.
Defending my number 11 spot for Ghost Rider. If this movie was done in a larger MCU, he would have been a staple at this point. He would have been a Robert Downey Jr. It was fine. It was MCU before MCU was really cementing itself. He did a great job. Weird hair aside, he played the Whedon-esque dialogue to a T. In my opinion, it was fine.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's fine. To me, it's fine. It's nothing more. It's nothing less. And there's too many good performances. This is a top-heavy list. Again,
I agree. I think it asked more of him as an actor than Gone in 60 Seconds.
I got you. I'm fine with that. I'm sure that once we get into 100 movies deep, Ghost Rider, which right now I have is, fourth to last, will probably settle at around 60 or 70.
Sure.
And I think we can probably all agree on that. Number 12, I have Zandali. I actually thought he was pretty decent in it.
I've Gone in 60 Seconds at 12, but I have Zandali at 13.
Flip-flop those, and that's what I got.
I have Valley Girl at 13.
I have Valley Girl at 14. We're a hair's breadth from each other on this.
Yeah, this is pretty close.
14, I have Knowing.
I have Knowing much lower.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think his performance was particularly compelling in Knowing.
No, but I was just kind of, you're probably right. I probably rated it too high. 15, I have Rumblefish.
Spirit of Vengeance.
I think I need to update this list because you're really. I'm going to blow through mine real quick because I think that I'm objectively wrong. 16, USS Indianapolis. 17, Sorcerer's Apprentice. 18, Spirit of Vengeance. 19, Ghost Rider. 20, G-Force. 21, Christmas Carol. 22, Next.
I agree with 22.
And I think that a lot of these are objectively wrong.
We're close on all of those. So with 15 being my Spirit of Vengeance, I have Indianapolis at 16, G-Force at 17, Christmas Carol at 8. That's wrong. I'm gonna fix that right now. So corrected, 18 is Rumblefish, just because of the limited amount of the film that he is in. 19, Christmas Carol. 20, Knowing, because I think he really phoned it in. 21, Sorcerer's Apprentice, which should probably be above Knowing, and 22 Next.
Sorcerer's Apprentice should definitely be above Knowing. I agree with that.
Yeah, I'm gonna fix that now too.
Yeah, I'm gonna fix mine because I think as I got to the bottom, I think I may have been like burnt out or something.
It's tough to do this with 22 films.
It's gonna be tougher for 33.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to bracket them off
When we hit 100 movies, we're gonna go insane when we do this.
Oh yeah,
I'm ready for it. I welcome the insanity. I welcome our good Lord and Master Cthulhu.
I want to be mixing Pepto-Bismol with my whiskey when we get to 100. Like
I
in
see it
First
coming
Reforms.
here. Hell, wind, Titan, blur. Yogg-Sothoth save me. The three-lobed burning eye.
All right, so we're gonna go unhinged scene, and I'm gonna read off my list and the scene that the movie is representing.
All right,
number 1, Bad Lieutenant, Lucky Crack Pipe.
Oh, Between Worlds.
Yep.
Read to me from memories.
Yep, that's my
Or
number
even
one as
when
well.
he lights himself on fire to that Shangri-La's song.
So here's the thing: all of those scenes, at least to me, they were all top 5 scenes, but the thing is that there were like 5 or 6 top 5 scenes. To me, Lucky Crack Pipe is more unhinged than all of them.
His
but
soul is dancing. I do agree that his soul is dancing.
Yeah, I have that. I agree with you, Rich. I have that lower on my list than it deserves.
My number 2 is Vampire's Kiss. The obvious meme scene. That's my scene that I have chosen to represent, but there's a few scenes that you can pick.
For Vampire's Kiss, I'd put talking to the side of that building.
That's fair.
But my number 2 would actually probably be Zandalay, black it out, fucking covering himself.
That's my number 3
in black paint. Oh, so good.
Zandalay's my 4. I gave the hand speech in Moonstruck the number 2 spot.
Oh, you see, I actually gave that number 7.
Yeah, I'd put that way lower.
I have Bad Lieutenant at number 7.
But it's not as nutty.
I think my list is wrong on this one. I'm going to defer to my peers on this one.
So my number 3 is Zandalay. For take your pick, either Black It All Out or Cocaine Hand.
Cocaine Hand is so strong.
Yeah, Zandalay's my number 4. I actually have 8mm at number 3.
Oh, I feel like that's very high. I have it at 10.
Yeah, I'd put 8mm a bit lower too.
Did you hold his cock? Did you make him come? That's high.
So here's
bro.
the thing: is I think the Bad Lieutenant is more. I think Vampire's Kiss is more. I think Zandalay is more. Between Worlds is more.
I think Spirit of Vengeance is more. He's a bad man.
Bad Man is a good one.
Bad Man held the top spot for a long time.
Bad Man is a good one.
So my number 4 is Between Worlds.
I have Zandalay at 4.
Take your pick.
Yeah.
5, I have Snake Eyes, and I have it for the general one shot is what I have written, because that one shot he's doing a lot of things.
I think as a extended single scene, yeah, but that's just by the length of it, honestly. Like, just beating up a bookie isn't that unhinged for a dirty cop. And, trying to get the attention of the boxer isn't that unhinged for a dirty cop that went to high school with that boxer.
Yeah, but I think a lot of the things, because I'm counting it as one scene. You have that. You have him switching the phone back and forth from his wife to his Gumar.
To his Gumar, yes.
That's true. I have Kiss of Death at 5.
I agree with that.
I have
bench pressing. You got the fern.
Dancing aggressively at a plant and crying because his dad died. Also, the threatening the dude where it looks like he's gonna put the cigarette out on his hand and he makes him get up and strip instead.
Yes.
Solid shit, dude.
Yeah, no,
solid.
Is definitely that's a solid placing for that one.
I have number 6, Ghost Rider Spirit of Vengeance, for the I'm a Bad Man speech. Also known as I actually have it written as Scratching at the Door.
Yes. I have Vampire's Kiss at 6.
Okay.
It probably should be higher, but I have it at 6.
Yeah, I think our next ranking episode, you're going to have to look inward and take a look at your rankings on this one.
Fair. That's very fair. These I went through them in order and it was exhausting. So we're getting to the tired part of my list.
Yeah. 7 to me was Moonstruck. The obvious, I lost my hand, I lost my wife, my brother has his hand, my brother has his wife, that whole scene.
This is where I
the
have
big knife
Moonstruck as well.
This is where I have Bad Lieutenant, and I could easily swap it with Moonstruck. That makes sense.
Number 8, I have Ghost Rider for the transformation scene.
I have Spirit of Vengeance for the bad man speech.
Okay. 9, I have Kiss of Death I have it as a dancing fern.
My 9 is the original Ghost Rider for the transformation scene.
10 is 8mm for Did You Hold His Cock? Did You Watch Him Come?
My 10 is Snake Eyes.
Number 11 is Honeymoon in Vegas for the poker scene freak out.
Fair.
That is fair, yeah.
My 11 is Adaptation.
My 12 is Valley Girl, but there's just question marks next to it. So I forget what scene
it's when he's getting drunk, crying through the streets is probably the most unhinged part of that. Either that or when he keeps stealing dudes' jobs to fuck with them.
Oh, that was it. That was it.
Fantastic.
It was jobs.
My 12 is Kill Chain.
I have Kill Chain very, very down low.
Yeah, I don't think Kill Chain's that unhinged. It's just got the one scene where he starts laughing. And
That's
he's
fair.
dead upstairs.
Entirely fair.
My 13 is Sorcerer's Apprentice when he's just eating all the sandwiches.
Yo, that
Or
man loved a
waggling
pickle.
the pickle.
He loved a pickle.
My 13 is actually Rumblefish for the party scene.
Oh, I have that.
Oh yeah,
a
the
bit
bare
lower.
ass scene. Yeah.
Because now I have knowing for Googling 9/11.
You gotta Google 9/11.
I have Valley Girl. The 9/11 scene slipped my mind, which means knowing is much lower on this list than it probably deserves because the 9/11 scene is pretty classic. I fell into one of the classic blunders, the first, of course, never being getting involved in a land war in Asia. The second of which is forgetting 9/11.
Never forget.
Correct.
Oh my god! And did you get into a gamble with death with a Sicilian or something? Or
Yes, only slightly less.
Was it
well
me?
known.
Was I the Sicilian?
Number 15, I have Adaptation for the masturbating to the author's picture.
Yeah, that's the correct choice for that one. It's either that or eating a sando on his back.
I have Gone in 60 Seconds for the Lowrider Braveheart speech.
Okay, that's a good one.
That
I'd
is
honestly
good, and
put
I may
going
have-
to the dealership and fucking with the dude trying to figure out where the fancy cars are as a little bit higher.
That's good. It's just the weirdness of Lowrider as like a Enter the Ring song and the Let's Go with the hands by the head. I thought that was a bit more unhinged.
Next, I have Kill Chain for the She's Dead Upstairs.
I have Honeymoon in Vegas for the trying to win at roulette. It was like, I really got to win right now.
That one was very good.
That's why his hair was so high on my list for that movie.
Yes,
His hair is all
I
fucked
agree.
up in that scene.
As two people, when we were both like 21, 22, Ryan and I would go get drunk at a beach bar and then run inside to Caesars and lose $40 playing roulette, and
Or
then
make
walk
like
back out.
$80 and then go get way more drunk at the beach bar.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh man, those were some good times. So 17, I have Rumblefish for the party scene.
I have Sorcerer's Apprentice for the pickle scene here.
I'm glad we all agree that the pickle scene is the best part of that movie.
Yeah.
It is. The waggling of the pickle does it for me every time.
18, I have Gone in 60 Seconds for the dealership scene. It is unhinged. I feel like it's too short to be a major contender is my only thing.
Fair.
I have Indianapolis for a number of bizarre scenes, but I think this is me throwing Sizemore a nod.
Yeah,
I have it
thought
next.
we did have the qualifier that Sizemore is the most unhinged part of that movie.
Yes.
Yes, and I have that next at 19.
Okay.
20, 21, and 22, like it doesn't matter. It's G-Force Next and Christmas Carol.
Correct.
They're not unhinged. They're just
Well,
not
Christmas
fun.
Carol has that scene that gave me an actual legitimate headache because it just stopped animating. They decided to stop animating the movie.
I mean, yeah, but it's like, no, I don't know. Nothing there is like unhinged. I didn't like the G-Force is just a music video for the Black Eyed Peas.
This is true.
Jon Favreau is there.
I mean, so is Steve Buscemi. So
Oh, that's
I
right.
forgot he was even in that. You know
Yeah.
what? Zandalay was a better performance by him.
Yes.
oh, absolutely. But you know, for those completionists out there, I have G-Force Next and Christmas Carol as the 3, 2, 1. But it doesn't matter what fucking order you put them in.
Yeah,
I have
that's
next
fair.
at the bottom on principle.
All right, what do we got? What are we watching next?
God damn, what are we watching next? Hold on, I'm going to the randomizing Nick Cage machine.
Cage bought 5,000. Love that guy.
I actually upgraded it to 6,000. Ooh, the upgrade paid off for watching Kick-Ass.
Oh, I'm into that.
Hell yeah!
I'm into it.
I haven't seen in about 10 years. I remember it. I remember enjoying it. I remember thinking like, oh wow, this is way more violent than I thought it was going to be.
I mean, the comics are real violent.
Way more violent.
Way more violent. Yeah.
Well,
that's cool. I'll get to talk about John Romita Jr. and how his dad was the fucking man.
Right, like as somebody who is kind of on the other side of the game store spectrum, as you know, Ryan and Josh are both. Well, I mean, Ryan is kind of an all around, but I'd put you more solidly in the comic book side of things.
Yeah, I like to make a game, but I'm more of a comic book man.
Right, and so are you, Josh. You're more of a comic guy than a game guy, right?
Well, as far as the hobby shop days are concerned, I did more on the gaming side than the comic side. I was always, so my thing with that is and it degrades my credentials as a comic book guy. I'm more about ease of access than I am about the mysticism and the collection portion. So I bought most of my comics in the digital realm just because.
That's fine. I've read probably hundreds of thousands of pages of pirated comics online.
Yeah.
I mean, if I like it enough, I'll buy it, but
like same day. Also, I don't have a lot of space to put a bunch of shit. Like I was always the omnibus guy. If I wanted something on paper, I'd wait for the omnibuses, but fuck you if you think I'm gonna wait for those releases and not get the issues as they came out. I would just get them on my phone.
Okay. I was never a big comic person. I was like, I kind of knew what's going on just from fucking osmosis.
Oh yeah, you used to be around for the conversations where me and Preston would just talk shit on what's going down in Marvel or fucking DC.
Right. So like I always had an idea.
Stupid.
Yeah, so like I always had an idea what was going on, but I was much more of I played Warhammer and 40K and Magic the Gathering and a bunch of, offshoot mini and card games that nobody except the three of us would know what the hell I'm talking about. Like, War Machine Hordes or Legend of Five Rings or fucking
L5R and Magic rules. Is what I played when I went to the shop.
Shout out to L5R. Let's bring that shit back.
I mean, I did find my big ass box of L5R stuff.
Dude, I have a whole tub. We're going to get together. We're going to put together. Also, shout out to L5R for being one of the few game systems, collectible card game systems that allowed for proxies and tournament play. Do more of that,
rule, because they did have a couple of cards that were like legal to be played that you could only get through a fucking like board game that you had to buy that was L5R adjacent.
Yeah, at least L5R got it. Just print it, put it in a fucking sleeve, man. That was cool. I did appreciate the hell out of that.
You could also customize cards. Like there was a guy who he played Dragon Clan, and he would take a Sharpie to all of his cards, and he was a very good artist. But like his thing was he would draw on all of his cards to make them look like Shadowlandsy. And there was also a guy who every set he would do a theme deck based on Seven Samurai, and he would print out his own custom cards where the abilities and stuff were the exact same, but he would put a custom picture and a custom name.
See, that's awesome.
I'd love to see all of his Toshiro Mifunes.
Also, I'm not gonna dox where we are, but I do have the clan cards from our hobby shop that you had to join the whole newsletter thing to get the special printings of. I have them in my collection still.
We've mentioned like 18 times we're from Atlantic City, right?
That's fair enough. Come to Atlantic City and look for me, motherfuckers. You won't find me except on a random Saturday evening, but it's fine.
Or if Marcy Playground is playing Boer again, I will be there.
I had a friend who went to that because she's like,
it was me.
Oh no, my friend Kate went to that because like she is obsessed with like 90s alt rock, and it's the weirdest thing.
It's what I did for my birthday this past year. It was on my birthday. Fucking ruled.
Like she's friends with the lead singer of Everclear. Like they're legitimate. Like they talk via text message sometimes. It's very weird.
I hear the guy from Eve 6 is really fucking funny.
His Twitter game.
Yeah, his
Twitter game is next
solid.
level.
It's one of those things where it's like you can't be like, I'm annoyed because you shouldn't be a famous musician and have a good Twitter game. that's also though, Rich, we have to talk off air about how for a birthday present of mine, I want a text from the lead singer of Everclear.
I'll see if I can make that happen.
Okay. Well, yeah, we'll talk about it off air.
All right, so if we wrap it, like we somehow turned a ranking episode into 2 long episodes.
Oh, this is longer than last week's episodes, which were our longest ones yet.
Oh my God.
We have a lot to say about eroticism, but we have just as much to say about rankings. Wait for the 33 movie ranking episode, which is going to be a 3-parter or just an actual fist fight held somewhere in South Jersey. We'll sell tickets.
When we get to 99, someone's gonna die.
I call it. I'm calling dibs.
Yeah, I don't want to do this anymore, actually. I'm cool with dying.
99 is when we replace one of the 3 men by Kumite.
We'll have a fan contest. Come and beat us in a fist fight and replace one of us and end our suffering. It's the Portlandia skit with the cabinet of Dr. Caligari, where you got to trick somebody else into watching it.
I mean, I'll watch that movie anytime. I like that movie. All right, what's that Twitter? We've been here too long.
I was about to say, can we leave now? I'm tired and sad.
Oh, are you done? Well,
we've been trapped in the Shadowlands for too long today.
Fair enough. If you're on Twitter, follow us on Twitter. We're at cagefight_pod. What's our Patreon, Rich?
Patreon.com/NickCageFight. $3 a month will get you all the episodes with no ads, as well as other cool things. At the $5 you get bonus episodes. $10 you get live streams, which like we haven't done one yet, but like we will. Like we'll just do one and put it on YouTube for free or something for like the first one to be like, this is what you're gonna get, motherfuckers.
Yeah, $50 a month. You can hang out with us if you want.
That's actually that's the $15 a month one.
15?
Is like you can
Sure.
actually watch a movie with us.
Yeah, I'm fine with that. And whatever tier you subscribe to, it counts towards inflicting psychological torture on myself and Ryan. Rich's atonement to be determined at a later date. Do it though; it'll be fun.
Yeah, I'm ready to watch the G-Force speed run. Chris Gamer,
Yeah, we're coming for you, Chris
Still
Gamer.
coming for you.
It's happening, slowly but surely.
Chris, I am going to shake you naked and eat you up.
Yeah, but other than all that, listeners, as always, we appreciate you.
Special occasion. Bye-bye.